What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Amon's Toxic Camel 331. Back at it with another video, and today we're doing yet another Toxic Tier List ranking. Oh, yeah. Today, if you couldn't tell by everyone here, we are going to be doing a Royal Rumble winner / match tier list ranking. But before we get to actual beginning of the video itself, guys, if you guys are wondering, oh, where's your Royal Rumble 2024 match tier list ranking? At the end of my vlog at Royal Rumble, because I was there in attendance, if you missed that, basically at the end, I review the pay-per-view in itself, like in 2-minute fashion. So I do pretty good with that. And if you missed my vlog, be sure to check that one out if you're interested. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 600 subscribers, just 13 away now. Would really help out your boy if you did subscribe. Also, if you missed my previous Toxic Tier List rankings I've done in the past, they're in a playlist on my YouTube channel. If you'd like to check that one out, also don't forget to like the video, because let me know that you do like my Toxic Tier List rankings, and I'll put the YouTube algorithm recommend the video more, and do feel free to comment your list down below. And if you're wondering why Braun Strowman and where the heck did Bayley go? Hang on a second. Photo library. Okay, there we go. Add, and don't mind the bad camera angles. I'm just trying to rearrange. I was trying to add them to the tier list ranking. Okay, simple as that. Okay. But before we start ranking everything, we have the tiers. We have best of the best, which means they're an all-time Royal Rumble winner, and they were utterly perfected. Great means they were great Royal Rumble winners, but not, like, in all time, you know? Toxic goodness or great also can mean it was great for the time. Toxic goodness means it was a good choice. It was a good choice, but... yeah, then okay is like a mixed bag, and then meh, you just basically are going like, okay, they pushed him, I guess. And then toxic trash means dumpster fire, one of the worst Royal Rumble winners in history. So, and this is like all the Royal Rumbles here. So, first off, we have the first ever Royal Rumble winner from 1988, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And... honestly, I would just like to point out, I've watched every single one of these Royal Rumble matches, because a while back, I believe in 2021, when we were preparing for the 2021 Royal Rumble match, me and my family watched all the matches back to back to back to back to back. So, basically, and all the Royal Rumbles are still fresh in my brain, so there's that. But Hacksaw Jim Duggan from 1988 is a weird one, because at this time up till 1990, well, in 1993 they changed the rule of the Royal Rumble, where if you won, you would basically you would win a championship shot at WrestleMania. But for this one, it was just really honestly for nothing. But I feel like I would get a lot of hate if I put Hacksaw Jim Duggan, like, really, really low. So, for the reason that he is the first Royal Rumble winner, Hacksaw Jim Duggan goes into the okay tier. It's just because, like, nothing followed suit afterwards. If he went, like, on a championship run afterwards, maybe he would go higher. But since he's the first Royal Rumble winner and he didn't really win anything, he goes into the okay. Next up, we have Big John Studd. I think hopefully y'all agree with this, but I think out of every single Royal Rumble winner on this tier list, I think this is the most forgettable one. Big John Studd winning is meh. It's just like, okay, they're pushing him for the time being, and that's pretty much it, really. That was the first Royal Rumble that they introduced 30 men, and it's just, okay, you push Big John Studd, so there's that. Then we have the 1990 Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble itself is actually quite good. I think it's really good. And originally Mr. Perfect was supposed to win this, and then Hulk Hogan said, "No, no, no, I don't think so, brother," and ended up using backstage politics to win the Royal Rumble match. But besides from that, they did a really good job of setting up things like they set up the eventual massive main event match between Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, as you guys can see right there, for the WWF Championship and the Intercontinental Championship, and they did great at setting up that. They had pretty good participants in here. Mr. Perfect, as I mentioned, Ravishing Rick Rude, was Macho Man in here? I forgot if Macho Man was... No, because Wait. I'm trying to remember. No, Macho Man wasn't in here too, because I think he was defending the WWE title that night. Wait, I forgot which year Macho Man was WWE champion in, because like Warrior versus Hogan happened 1990. Okay, so they must have faced each other in 1989. Okay, so Macho Man might have been in here. And Jake the Snake too, and yeah, this match honestly I think is good. It's a toxic goodness match for me. It hasn't aged very well, but it is a toxic goodness match. I think it's fairly entertaining. Then we have the 1991 Royal Rumble, where Hulk Hogan became the first ever two-time Royal Rumble winner. And this one is... where do I put you? It's one of these two tiers. It's meh, because it just sets up a match with Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter, which I have not watched that match, but I've heard pretty terrible things so far. Yeah, it was just there to set it up, and Earthquake had no chance of beating Hogan. So even though that would have been interesting if Earthquake won at that time. So Hogan winning is meh. Overall, I think it's more memorable than Big John Studd winning, but it is still a forgettable Royal Rumble match. Then we got, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And I think we can all agree with this. Nature Boy Ric Flair is the best of the best here. This was for the WWE Championship, and Ric Flair, I think, was like the first ever Iron Man in a Royal Rumble match, winning at the number 3 spot, and ended up winning the WWE Championship at the end, last eliminating Psycho Sid after Psycho Sid eliminated Hogan, because most people thought Hogan was going to win. And this was great, because this made the infamous if you're gonna be the man, you gotta beat the man promo from Ric Flair in the tear, no, not the beat the man promo, no, the tear in my eye promo. Ric Flair, best of the best. I think we can all agree with that, and that was a great choice back then. Then we got Yokozuna, and this was the first Royal Rumble, as mentioned before, where they introduced the Royal Rumble winner gets to face off against the champion in the main event of WrestleMania. And Yokozuna, I think, out of this whole entire list, was the first, I was about to say, he was the first heel that won the Royal Rumble. And no, that's not true, because Ric Flair was a heel when he won. So, Yokozuna goes into the way he won was stupid, but the way they pushed him was pretty cool. So I'll put Yoko in the good tier. I think Yoko deserves to be in the good tier, because he eliminated a lot of people in that Royal Rumble match. But no, wait, actually, I'm going to put it okay. It's very close to good. Why I put it in okay is because what it led to afterwards, where he faced Bret at Mania, and then Hogan eventually took Bret's place after Bret lost to Yoko, and Hogan won the title from Yoko. But luckily Yoko won the title back from Hogan, so there's that. But Yoko is okay. It's close to good, but just after everything that happens afterwards, yeah. Then we got the first ever time and the only time that we've ever had 2 Royal Rumble winners, which that would have been cool if they did it this year with CM Punk and Cody, where it was two Royal Rumble winners or whatever. That would have been cool. But we have Lex Luger and Bret Hart, which I don't know where to specifically rank this, because, it's ranking them both. So The actual match itself, I think I don't think it had quite a few dud entrants in it, but not as much as one we're about to talk about. But Brett was a good choice to win, and then Luger. Most people were wanting Brett to win instead of him, and they were still trying to make Luger be the new Hulk Hogan. And so far, for this, I'll give it. Where did I put you? Because I don't know, because I'm ranking both of them. If I was ranking them individually, Luger would probably go into the meh tier, and then Brett would have gone into the good tier. So I'll put it into the okay tier because it's in middle ground. Because Luger would go in the meh tier, and then Brett would go in the good tier, because it led to nothing for Luger, unfortunately. So yeah, next up we have the 1995 Royal Rumble match. I'm sorry, it's cool that Shawn won, but this match was absolutely terrible. It's the shortest Royal Rumble match. I believe it's like almost 30 minutes, which that's saying a lot because most of the Royal Rumble matches are like in an hour or close to an hour. This had a lot of dud entrants. This was cool that Shawn was the first person to ever win from number one in a Royal Rumble match. That was cool, and him and Bulldog had a pretty good showcase in that match. But and they had a good psyche with British Bulldog seeming like he won, but then Shawn eliminated him. That was good, but no, this match is pretty bad. So sorry, Shawn, but the 1995 Royal Rumble goes here. Then we have the 1996 Royal Rumble, where Shawn becomes the second ever person to win 2 Royal Rumble winners and 2 Royal Rumbles back to back. And Shawn from 1996 goes into, I think it was overall the right choice for the time. But, there was no other contenders to win this match, besides maybe Diesel, which most people didn't think he was going to win. This one I'll put okay, because it eventually led to the boyhood dream has come true for Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania when he faced Bret Hart in that Iron Man match. But I feel as if they could have just made British Bulldog win the 1995 Royal Rumble, then have Shawn win this Rumble instead, and then face Brett, But, so, yeah, overall it's okay, and it included the debut of Vader, I believe. This was Vader's first ever match, which he looked pretty good in there, too. So, yeah, and it was overall an okay match. Next up, we got, what? Stone Cold Steve Austin, what? And I hate to do it for Stone Cold Steve Austin's first Royal Rumble win, but I'm putting this in the toxic trash category. The way he won was very unique, how he got eliminated, but the people didn't realize that he got eliminated, the referees. So when he gets back in the ring, he eliminates Undertaker and Vader, and then he eliminates Bret Hart, and he wins the Royal Rumble, even though he was already eliminated, which eventually set up a fatal 4-way match, like Battle Royal type thing for the WWE Championship that Shawn Michaels have vacated at In Your House, I believe. And Austin never got his title match at WrestleMania or his one-on-one title match. So, and Austin goes into Toxic Trash. It started well, but then afterwards, it was stupid. And we had to wait a whole entire year for him to win again, which we're about to talk about, the 1998 Royal Rumble for Stone Cold Steve Austin, and again, right choice at the right time. I'll put this in the toxic goodness tier. This eventually led to the iconic Stone Cold winning the WWE Championship from Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. Was it 14? I'd like to say it's 14 because I remember the fiery logo for 13. So it was a good call for Stone Cold to win. Simple as that. And he became the third person to win back-to-back Rumbles. Then we got Vince McMahon. I think we all know where this is going. Toxic Trash did nothing did nothing, and it didn't even lead to a championship match. Arguably, even though I do not like multiple-time Royal Rumble winners, Austin should have won this match, obviously. But Vince just sat at the commentary desk, then kept on running backstage and stuff, didn't even barely do anything. Then at the end, Rock distracts Austin, and Vince McMahon wins, and at number 2, of all places, all the way from number 2, ridiculous. Yeah, Vince McMahon goes into Toxic Crush. Sorry. Then we got The Rock, and I don't know where to put this one, because all of us were wanting that one-on-one title match between Triple H, which we eventually got at Backlash, not at WrestleMania. So, and Rock and Big Show accidentally botched the finish, how Rock went for a Hurricane Rana, and like when he Hurricane Rana Big Show out of the ring, Rock's feet touched, so they made it into a storyline where Big Show was kind of the actual Royal Rumble winner of the matchup, but they still acknowledged Rock as the Royal Rumble winner of the matchup. And they eventually did a Fatal 4-Way match. McMahon in every single corner, and added Mick Foley, because why not? Even though I love Mick Foley, but like they did a McMahon in every corner Fatal 4-Way matchup at WrestleMania 2000, which that match is not really well received either. So 2000 Rock, I'll go meh, unfortunately. It's bordering on okay, because like it had a couple moments here and there, but it's just meh because it didn't. Well, no, I'll put it in okay. I'll put it at the back of okay. I think because yeah, it eventually led to Rock and Triple H having a couple of matches down the road. So okay, Austin, from 2001, Stone Cold Steve Austin again, and honestly, this match I was not this match. Even though I don't like multiple-time Royal Rumble winners, it was cool that Austin won. Because if Austin wouldn't have won, we would have never got Austin versus Rock 2, which is among probably one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time and one of the best matches of all time, arguably. So Austin goes, and him and The Rock were like the top 2 contenders to win the Royal Rumble match. And Kane and Undertaker too, which I think Kane should have won, but I do overall think it was a good Royal Rumble. So Austin goes into the 2000 Toxic Goodness tier. Then we got Triple H, which Triple H was the most over at the time. So it was a good call to make Triple H win, but it had the mediocre Chris Jericho versus Triple H match. And I hate to say that, but it had the mediocre Triple H and Chris Jericho match at WrestleMania in the main event, I believe it was, even though Rock and Hogan should have main evented. And and then Triple H just held the title for a month, I think, or close to a month, or even shorter than that. I don't know. So it didn't really lead towards anything, so Triple H is 2002 Royal Rumble win. Goes into the okay tier, because he was the right choice to win, but didn't lead to anything. Next up, we got Brock Lesnar. And, again, with some of the other ones I said, Brock Lesnar was the perfect choice at the time. He had an amazing year in 2002, and he carried the momentum into 2003 as an ultimate beast. No pun intended. No, was that pun intended or no pun intended? I can't decide if I was trying to do it pun intended. I probably was, but it backfired. And I don't think there were any other possible contenders that could have won this Royal Rumble match. Had a lot of good entrants in it, and a lot of good stuff in it overall. So Brock Lesnar winning the Royal Rumble goes in the Toxic Goodness tier. I think I wouldn't change a thing about him winning. Then we got, oh boy, this is going to be controversial to talk about. Oh dear. Putting the stuff that happened aside later on, Chris Benoit was a great surprise choice to have win this match, and it was a good choice to have him win. And what it eventually led to is one of the greatest triple threat matches of all time between Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and himself for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And it had that iconic ending with Eddie Guerrero holding a title and him holding a title right next to each other, standing together and hugging together, and him celebrating with his family and stuff. So it was a great choice. And even though afterwards and nowadays it would probably never get celebrated again. And it's a shame that he had got a lot of concussions and stuff from that. So, it's just sad that that all happened to his family and him. So, yeah. Chris Benoit goes into great. I know that's controversial because most people's... If you ever are in the wrestling fandom, if you ever talk about him, there is either people that agree with you or don't. So Benoit goes into great tier for me, even though stuff that happened afterwards, because he was the right choice for the time. Then we got the 2005 Royal Rumble with Batista winning, which they ended up actually botching something at the end with Batista and John Cena, like, both falling out of the ring by accident. Yeah, I think overall this was a good choice. This was a good choice to have Batista win. They already built in the Evolution breakup with Randy Orton, and they were loosely building it up with Batista versus Triple H, and they did a good decision and made Batista into a megastar. So Batista goes into the toxic goodness tier. 2005 Batista for the right answer. Then we got Rey Mysterio, Booyaka 619. And before this Royal Rumble, Eddie Guerrero obviously passed away, which there were three marquee contenders that people in the creative team and WWE at the time were pushing to win. It was Randy Orton, Triple H, and Rey Mysterio, which all three of them, ironically, were the final three, and all three of them actually got title matches at Mania. And Rey Mysterio was the right call because him and Eddie were, of course, super close. We all know this, and it was the right choice, and it was the right choice to have him win the World Heavyweight title from Angle and Randy Orton at Royal Rumble. So that was a good choice, but his title reign wasn't that great. But it was cool to see him with a world title in honor of Eddie. So Rey Mysterio goes into the toxic goodness tier. I think it was a good pick, especially after Eddie died. So good pick. Then we got Undertaker from 2007, which him and Shawn Michaels were the two that were most likely to win this matchup. And it was in HBK's hometown, and they pulled the cool swerve where Undertaker actually won. And this match, I honestly think is great. I don't think it's best of the best tier, but it is great. And Undertaker ended up coming out at number 30. It eventually led up to Undertaker and Batista's great match that's highly underrated compared to Undertaker's later matches. It's like really great stuff. And he had a very good feud with Edge afterwards. So Undertaker goes in the great tier. Undertaker was a great Royal Rumble pick. Then we got John Cena from 2008. And it was cool to see Cena return and win, but what it led to afterwards was a title match against Randy Orton at No Way Out instead of Mania, and then Cena still got a title shot at WrestleMania in a triple threat match, and the moment was cool that he won, but then afterwards, so Cena, unfortunately, I hate to do this, but I got put the match itself was great. Like, that's probably one of the best Royal Rumble matches out there. No, I'll put it okay, because I think this is one of the best Royal Rumble matches, hands down. But it's just, the winner was cool for the time, but nothing that happened afterwards. So it's an okay winner. Then we got Randy Orton, and Randy Orton was the perfect choice as well. Another perfect choice for the time. But they didn't follow it up. They had a pretty boring match between Randy Orton and Triple H at WrestleMania 25. And, yeah. I don't have to say really anything else. Randy Orton, I think, is a mixed bag. So I'll put Randy Orton 2009 in the okay tier. Because it was cool to see him win. And that match was pretty good. Then we have... Oh, what? What the heck happened? Oh my gosh, they got rid of them. Okay, I'll get them at the end. We got Edge from 2010. And Edge from 2010 goes into... Honestly, I think this is another best of the best Royal Rumble match. And I think it is a best of the best winner. I think Edge was a good choice to have come back and win the thing, even though most people at the time were wanting Shawn Michaels to win so he could face Undertaker, which we still got the match anyways, streak versus career, and famously. And I can understand at the time Edge winning kind of made people mad because they wanted Shawn to win, but nowadays Edge was the right call. So Edge goes in the best of the best here. Wait, what? I didn't move Austin into the best of the best. That's no. Okay, go back down. I thought something looked off in the best of the best here. Then we got. I wish it would have been interesting if Santino won. Then we got Alberto Del Rio, and AJ Styles is not the Royal Rumble winner from 2016. I just realized. Ignore that. But Alberto Del Rio's meh. It was interesting to see him win because he was the top heel, probably arguably at the time. So it was interesting to see him win, but didn't follow up with anything afterwards. Simple as that. Then we got Fella Sheamus, which originally I was more positive on Sheamus winning than before, than other people were. Now, I would say I'm more mixed on Sheamus winning. I'll put him in the okay tier for now. Because Jericho was the hottest person right now at that time, with people wanting Jericho to win. And they obviously, Jericho was the original plan. WWE have said that many times, that Jericho was the original plan to win the match in 2012, which that would have been cool, but Jericho still got a title match anyways against CM Punk, so that was still worked out for him in the end. And then Sheamus had a 12-second squash match with Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight title, which Sheamus won. So yeah, I'll put Sheamus in the okay tier because both of them still get title matches anyway, so it works out. Then we got John Cena from 2013, and there were really no other candidates during that time that would possibly win the Royal Rumble. So he was the obvious person that was going to win. And obviously with Rock facing CM Punk later on in the night for the WWE Championship 2, it was obvious that they were going to set up Rock versus Cena 2. And Cena winning is... I would say 2008 Royal Rumble wins better, so I'll say meh. I'll say meh for John Cena winning. Because there were no possible other Royal Rumble candidates for the time that could have possibly had won. So Cena goes in the meh. Then we got Batista from 2014. And Batista from 2014, Daniel Bryan should have won. I don't know where to place them because overall, I think the match is pretty watchable, even though Daniel Bryan isn't in it, and Daniel Bryan should have won. But the match I do somewhat enjoy, and Batista should not have won. I totally agree with everybody on that. I'll put it in the match here. I don't think it's utterly toxic trash because I still think the match is watchable enough. It's not, but Batista winning was a garbage call, and they should have had Bryan win, which luckily it still paid off in the end, and Bryan did win the championship at Mania and still competed there, so that's great. Then we have Roman Reigns. Oh boy, I don't know where to place this one. The match itself is garbage. Roman winning, I'm mixed on. No, I have to. I think if I didn't put it in this category, I think I would have got backlash. It's just how they booked everything. Roman was not a good choice. Roman was, I don't know how to explain it. I'm kind of mixed about Roman winning, right? Okay. But how they booked everything, because there were a bunch of fan favorites people were wanting to win. There was Daniel Bryan, which was the biggest one again, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, and Bray Wyatt. But how they handled everything. Like, Daniel Bryan lasted like almost 15 minutes, which that's pretty short. And he got eliminated real quick by Bray Wyatt. And people, when he got eliminated, they were very angry. And then, but what bothers me even more is what happens at the end. So, Big Show and Kane are in the ring. Obviously, they're still part of the Authority. And what they end up doing is WWE booked them to basically team up and eliminate all the fan favorites. They eliminated Dolph Ziggler, they eliminated Bray Wyatt, and then they eliminated Dean Ambrose with the other fan favorites that people were hoping to win. And they knew at the time that Roman was going to win, and they did not want him to win. So, Roman winning, toxic trash. I'm sorry, Roman. And Rock, I'm sorry for you too, because he actually got booed helping Roman Reigns. So, you hate to see that. Next up, we have not AJ Styles, but that would have been interesting if AJ Styles won during this time. It is the game, Triple H, with his second Royal Rumble win for the WWE Championship. And the match, I think, is watchable, but had predictable outcome. As soon as Triple H's music, hit, people were going probably they're going to book him to win, maybe, if Roman doesn't win, which people were thinking Roman was going to win. Yeah, they were proven wrong, and Triple H ended up eliminating him, and it was him and Ambrose in the finals, and Triple H ended up winning. It led to the very boring match between Roman Reigns and Triple H at Mania for the WWE Championship, and it was the main event of the show, which it should not have. It should have been like the mid-card or something like that. It was very boring, and I think the Royal Rumble match itself is watchable enough, like the 2014 match, but Royal Rumble winner, no. Then we got 2017. This match I like, but the winner I do not like. Jericho, again, should have won the Royal Rumble this year, especially this year, because they had a hot storyline with Jericho, and they could have built up on that momentum and actually had them face each other for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania, but then, everybody said, nope, we're going to have them face for the U.S. title instead, because why not, right? And have Goldberg eventually defeat Kevin Owens for the Universal title, so Jericho and him face for the United States title. Randy Orton ended up winning the match, which, okay, and eventually set up a sad, boring match between him and Bray Wyatt, and he took the title from Bray Wyatt, which still doesn't make sense to this day for me. I don't know why they made that call for Randy to beat Bray during that time. But 2017 Royal Rumble is watchable, though. So, and they were building it up quite well with the Wyatt family feud. So, I'll put 2017 Royal Rumble in okay because they were building up the Wyatt family feud pretty decently, but could have been better. Then we have Shinsuke Nakamura, which most fans were wanting Shinsuke to win, and I honestly, back in that time, probably wouldn't have expected, if I was a wrestling fan then, I wouldn't have expected them to pull the trigger on Shinsuke, but they did, and I think Shinsuke is an all-timer. I think he is. Yeah. I think he's an all-timer, and most people were thinking Cena and Roman were in the middle of something. But Nakamura, they could have delivered better on, but the match itself is high-quality stuff, so Nakamura goes there. Then we have Asuka, which they had her and Nakamura win the two fan favorites of each match, which was very, 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 very cool. And Asuka, and this was the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, by the way. Yeah, Asuka winning was a decent choice, but again, with Nakamura, they didn't follow it up, and they had, I think personally they had a little too many Legends appearances. That might just be me, though, but Asuka goes into the... Asuka goes in the good tier. I think she goes in the good tier. She's a solid first Royal Rumble pick. Then we have the men's Royal Rumble match with Seth Rollins winning. And I think Seth Rollins winning was a great choice. And he was my favorite wrestler at the time. So when I heard that he ended up winning the Royal Rumble, I was super happy. And I couldn't believe that he won. I thought someone else was going to win, but luckily he did. And had Nia Jax enter the men's Royal Rumble match, which that was crazy. And Dolph Ziggler and Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton all like triple teamed her. And like hit a super kick, 619, then RKO. Oh my goodness, it was hilarious. But yeah, the match was great. Then we have the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble. And 2019 one, I think, is probably the second best Women's Royal Rumble in history. So I'll put Becky Lynch winning was a great choice. Honestly, it might be best of the best. Yeah, I'll put it there. Best of the best. One of the best Women's Royal Rumbles out there. Becky was super hot at this time with the crowd. And, I mean, honestly, hot like that, too. But she was super hot with the crowd then. And, the people in the creative team listened and booked Becky to win, which that was a smart call. Unfortunately, it didn't lead to Becky versus Ronda. It led to Becky versus Ronda versus Charlotte, which Becky still won anyways, but, like, people were wanting that dream match between Becky and Ronda. So, best Royal Rumble winner. For sure. Then we got Drew McIntyre winning the 2020 Royal Rumble winner for the men's. And Drew McIntyre, best of the best. He was my pick at the time, too. So when I saw him actually win, because I was so worried because they were seeming like they were going to book Roman Reigns to win, which I was going like, no, don't have him win, please. And Drew ended up shocking all of us, I'm pretty sure. And he hits that Claymore and then tosses Roman Reigns out and wins the Royal Rumble. And this was what made Drew McIntyre a star. And yeah, that is an all-time Royal Rumble. So best of the best. Then we have Charlotte Flair winning the Women's Royal Rumble. I don't understand. Why push her so much? Literally, Shayna Baszler was supposed to win this originally, and then apparently, I was watching a video somewhere, Charlotte used backstage politics to win the match. So, Shayna should have won. Shayna Baszler, honestly, out of all the people I've said that should have won mini matches, Shayna Baszler is probably like into the top 5 that I think should have won. And Shayna should have won this match because she was looking utterly dominant. She had the one of the most Royal Rumbles eliminations. She had the most Royal Rumble eliminations ever. And I think, honestly, if she would have won the Women's Royal Rumble, she would have been beaten Becky Lynch. But that didn't end up happening. They had a different change of plans. Shayna still faced Becky at WrestleMania, but she lost, which I still am like, why? Why would they book that? But Charlotte did not need to win this match at all, and it made no sense that she challenged for the NXT Women's title. Anyways, hopefully Charlotte never wins a Women's Royal Rumble again. Then we have the Edge's second ever Royal Rumble win. And Edge was cool, but it didn't lead to anything, though, unfortunately. Oh, wait. I hate... Because this was during the Thunderdome era, which it was the first Royal Rumble in the Thunderdome, and the only Royal Rumble in the Thunderdome. It was overall cool to see Edge win, but I think there were some candidates that should have won more than Edge. No. Actually, I take that back. No, Edge was the perfect choice. There was literally nobody else that could have possibly won. And, Edge goes into... I don't think it's quite as great as his 2010 one, but Edge's 2021 win was good. Great. So, yeah. Then we have Bianca Belair winning the Women's Royal Rumble Royal Rumble of 2021. And I think this was a good call. Her and Rhea Ripley, as you guys can see right there, were the final 2 of the Women's Royal Rumble match. And if any of them 2 would have won, I wouldn't have even been mad. And Bianca winning all the way from number 3 was great. And and gave us that phenomenal match between Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and made Bianca into a star. So, toxic goodness. Oh boy. I think honestly, if there was a category below this, I would put that there. But this is the worst Royal Rumble in history, hands down for me. I remember, too, back then I didn't have, like, a lot of wrestling taste, to say the least. Like, I watched wrestling stuff. I don't know how to explain it. Basically, I didn't care if the match was bad. I still enjoyed it. This match, I did not enjoy at all. This match sucked. I literally was talking about it yesterday in the car ride on the way back from Royal Rumble, and talking about how bad the 2022 Royal Rumble was, and if we went to that Royal Rumble, oh my gosh. This whole entire match was terrible. Originally, this wasn't the original plan either. Shane McMahon apparently changed everything up, where Matt Riddle was supposed to originally win this Royal Rumble, which that would have been interesting to see where they would go off of that, but we never got to see that because it got changed up, and Riddle ended up getting eliminated, and Brock Lesnar ended up winning the Royal Rumble. Like, what? Like, this is worse than his Money in the Bank win. I know a whole lot of people crap on his Money in the Bank win, which that was still stupid, but this takes the cake. This is way worse. Like, and it eventually led to a title unification match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, and Roman Reigns was our world champion, and we got both of the belts, which means that we had to wait a whole entire another year to get a second world title champion or whatever, and defend the belt, because Roman wasn't defending the belt because he wasn't popping up a whole lot. And just everything behind this match. And it had a whole lot of dud entrants. If I was talking about dud entrants with some other Royal Rumble winners, like the 1995 Royal Rumble, you haven't seen yet. Like, this had, yeah, they somewhat improved a little bit over their WWE career a little later on. But it had, like, freaking Riddick Moss, or, well, Madcap Moss, or whatever, during the time, pop up, which he wasn't that great at that time. Well, he was never great, to be honest with you. Rick Boogs was in here. Trying to think of any other dud entrants. They had Ridge Holland. They had Ridge Holland as a surprise entrant. Like, what? That was one of your surprise entrants? Oh my gosh, that's so stupid. What other people were in here? I don't remember. And they had Madcap Moss eliminate AJ Styles. You have Madcap Moss. And the only two, like, biggest returns in this whole entire match, which, like, no disrespect to both of them, but Shane McMahon and Bad Bunny are your two big surprises. Like, there's not even any more big surprises. It's just them two. Like, I mean, I love Bad Bunny. I thought his return was pretty cool. But, and then Shane returning, like, was cool at the time, but until when you hear that everything was changed, yeah, you change your mind. Oh, my gosh. Wow, I just full-on ranted on that. Then we got the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble with Ronda Rousey winning. And honestly, I know this is a hot take, but this one didn't bother me. It didn't bother me that Ronda won. I'm going to put this in the okay tier. If I went higher, I think I would have been axed in the comment section. But Ronda winning, I wasn't mad at, to be honest. She went on a trash run afterwards, but honestly, I thought it was pretty cool that she returned and won, and she hasn't been in WWE since 2019 at this time, so it was cool to see her back, and it was nowhere near as bad as Charlotte Flair winning the Women's Royal Rumble, but it didn't bother me, Ronda winning, and it had a lot of cool entrants in there, not as much Legends entrants as 2018 one, which I appreciated. But they still had a lot of legend returns in there. Sasha Banks arguably should have won too. That would have been a better choice, but I still wouldn't mind Ronda winning. And they had a bunch of interactions and stuff with people. So that goes into the okay tier. I don't think it's utterly trash like other people. Then we got, whoa, you're only smoking. I'm trying to do the smoke and mirrors, whatever. I don't know why. Then we got Cody Rhodes from 2023. If only Cody finished the story at WrestleMania that year, I would have gave this, it's a best of the best Royal Rumble win. But now I would say it's a good Royal Rumble winner because it's I don't know how to explain this. It's basically, if you're doing a story, you have to have some bad endings to the story or bad chapters or whatever, in the story. And it didn't make sense at the time because I thought Cody was the perfect choice to defeat Roman. But now looking back on it, I think it was good, but it kind of wasted the Royal Rumble spot, if you ask me. So Cody Rhodes goes into the toxic goodness tier. Then we got Rhea Ripley. There were no other viable Women's Royal Rumble candidates to win this match besides Liv Morgan, I think. And Rhea Ripley won, which Rhea Ripley was the right call, and Rhea Ripley has been very dominant ever since. So Rhea Ripley goes into the toxic goodness tier. There were no other viable candidates, though. So, and it had a cool returns here and there too. So yeah, she goes there. And I had Chelsea Green return too, so. Oh, I forgot to rank Braun too. Next three, I'll just say where they go. I don't have to add them to the filter again. Braun goes into for the greatest Royal Rumble, even though people will say, "Oh, this doesn't count." It's my list. It's my list. Braun Strowman goes into the good tier. He goes into okay, because it eventually led to a Money in the Bank win, but failed Money in the Bank cash in, and yeah, he started decline down the card, but yeah. Braun Strowman goes into the okay tier. Then we have Cody Rhodes from 2024 and Bayley from 2024. I know that I don't have them on here. I just don't want to re-put them on the board, you know what I'm saying? So, Bayley would go best of the best. She's the best Royal Rumble winner, and that was the best women's Royal Rumble ever. Simple as that. And then 2024 men's Royal Rumble, I would put under the good tier. It's just that I was mixed about Cody winning because, like, it's a good thing that Cody won because it proves that Roman will face Cody at Mania this year and Cody will win. But then again, it would have been cool if Punk won, you know? And I don't like multiple-time Royal Rumble winners usually, so yeah. It was good. It was good. But with that being said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this long video. But before we get to actual ending the video itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 600 subscribers. Just, 13 away now. Really help out your boy if you did subscribe. Also, if you missed my previous Toxic Tier List rankings, they're in a playlist on my YouTube channel if you'd like to check that out. Also, don't forget to like the video, because let me know that you do like my Toxic Tier List rankings, and I'll upload the YouTube algorithm, recommend the video more. Don't forget to ring the bell for our notifications and notification on because we do multiple uploads here on the channel every single day. Also, share the video because also because more people join that Toxic fan. And do feel free to comment your list down below. But with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all in the next one, everybody. Peace out.